audio. In audio. In audio. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kentucky Speedway, a 162 lap event following last week's kind of off week. But we have got stage racing once again live here on True Sim Productions. Stage 1 going to end at the end of lap number 30. Stage 2 going to end at the end of lap number 64. And we here at TSP are ready to bring you all the action. In the booth tonight, along with myself, my good friend, Tanner Marr. Tanner, how are you tonight?
Chris, I am doing good. Excited to be back points racing. And honestly, excited to be back here at Kentucky Speedway, a home track for me. This is a track we have not seen since season 6 of the Blazing Pedal series. So it's a track the guys are not all real accustomed with. So they're using this happy hour to try to get the car shook down and maybe shake the last little butterflies as we're getting close to qualifying time.
Yeah, it is getting there. Very, very close. About 4 minutes to go. Let's go ahead and take a look at our sponsors. We couldn't do it without them. Our title sponsor going to be Ohio and Indiana Roofing. Our halfway leader, brought to you by Blackhawk Motorsports. Butt Kicker, bringing you all the special events action. Priority Auto, supplying the comms here for Blazing Pedals. The Pole Award goes off, and thank you to Michael Falk Racing Designs, MF Racing Designs, over on Facebook. And let's not forget, Five Kings Motorsports. They give these guys a block of time to practice every single Sunday to make sure that they are ready to go for you, the fans. Well, we are back to points racing, so I guess we'll take a look at that. That is where we're at, guys. Chris Carroll still up top. Dalton Kilroe in second. Dustin Ping sits in third. Brian Dees fourth. Tom Orozco fifth. And the rest go on. Sitting on the bubble tonight, it's going to be Jason Bauer in that 16th position, that all-important 16th position.
Look at the gaps between 16th all the way down. We're going to say 18th now. Massengill's in 19th. He's 58 points off of Bell. So, but from Bell on up, I mean, this playoff standings can change week to week, and we're seeing it week to week.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we have a lot of racing to go for not having a lot of racing to go. But here during happy hour, a couple of things. First, it looks like we may be fielding the largest field in a very, very long time. You'd have to go back to the beginning of the season to see a field size this big. The number right now stands at 26. How are we getting there? Well, we've got some drivers that are making their return, and we've also got a brand new driver. The brand new driver is going to be driving the number 21 Prime Toyota. He is with the TNA Motorsports camp. His name, Chad Wilson.
So the newest signing to the TNA Motorsports stable, really making that team even more stronger. As want to send a shout out to Miss Lori Law and Connie out in the chat. Hope you two are having a great weekend, and hi to everybody else out there in viewer land. As it looks like the governor, he's kind of chimed in and said the car is terrible here. And Mark, well, he says he basically does not like this car.
Hi, Lori. Hi, Constance. Great to see you both out there. Really happy, of course, that you're tuning in. We love seeing you guys out there. You know that, though. It's going to be an interesting race. Car's a little bit tight, which means every now and again it can break free. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weather. That's kind of the tell of the tale here. So, absolutely beautiful outdoor temperature of 77 degrees. That track, though, she's a little warm. 107 degrees. Tanner, I was privy to some chat from my team, and when it comes to race and setup and stuff, you know, I don't get too involved with it because I don't really have anything to say. It's not like I'm out there running laps or anything like that, but something that caught my eye was the fact that this track at around 90 degrees feels really good. It's 17 degrees warmer than that.
and I would venture a guess it's not going to cool down either, because and same time we're right in the heat of the day, it could possibly actually start to get a little warmer.
Connie, it's going to take me a little while.
Hey, I went through it too. I did the same thing.
It's going to take me a while. Too much respect. I'll do what I can. And speaking of what I can, hey, it's time to start looking at qualifying efforts. Who is going to be first on track here tonight? Ba-ba-ba. Oh, here we go. Chris Berg stepping out. How about this, though? First time out, we're going to make sure to catch it. The Prime Camry. He says, nope, not good enough. We'll start over. We go to the 99, Chris Carroll. Chris Carroll was lacking a little speed during that happy hour practice, Tanner. I don't know if you saw that, but he was about 8th or 9th quickest there.
I mentioned it on Race Chatter. I feel like tonight is very important for the 99. I've talked about it on Facebook. I've talked about it on here. He has yet to win a race since Cody Heinzman joined this series. And I think he's really starting to feel the pressure as we are now just 4 races to the start of the playoffs. It's time to get the momentum back for the 99, and tonight might be the track forward. He's really comfortable here at a cookie cutter, but like you mentioned, practice, he was only like 8th fastest, I believe.
Yeah, now some of that may be because maybe he came into the server a little bit late, so the track temperature had gone up a little bit, but we're going to find out here very, very quickly as he's rounding through turns 3 and 4 right now, getting ready to start his qualifying effort. And a lap 1, not bad, a 31.99. Chris Berg so far, 31.34. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, 31.48, good enough for second spot. And the lone Dutchman, 32.28. So already I can tell you, Philip Van Vliet's going to have to find a little bit more speed. Carroll shuts it down after taking the pole, 31.18. And yeah, I'm glad you saw that out there, Tanner. Cody's out there. Oh, wait, no, he did.
I'm glad. I'm super glad he said it. So just for clarity's sake, Cody said Carroll did beat him at Nashville, and I did overlook that. I just went and verified it. So I stand corrected. But still, since they've joined, Cody and Dylan, they have been 2 of, if not the fastest cars out there.
Well, certainly shook things up here as far as Blazing Pedals is concerned. Amanda Sherman on track in that beautiful, oh my goodness, that thing is gorgeous, red Toyota. I don't know why I love that car so much. It is beautiful. Corey over there hitting home runs in these paint jobs.
I'm curious to see what she's able to do here tonight. Like you mentioned, coming into night 15th in the points. Only 4 races remaining, counting tonight. It's make or break time now.
Yeah, I think, she's had an interesting season. She's been consistent towards the rear, but consistent. And that has gotten her where she is now. But my God, look at the qualifying effort. So far, 7th quickest, and that's only because Jamie Walker make it 8th quickest, and Cody Heinzman have taken over the front. Cody Heinzman throwing down a 31.09. Wow.
I just went and looked at Amanda's stats for the season. She's actually has an average finish position of 14.6, so rounded up to 15th. But that's not bad when there's 25, 26, 27 cars out there each and every week.
Also goes a long way in explaining that 15th in points.
Bingo.
All right, Chad Wilson out on track. This time, I think he's going to go for it. The 21 newcomer, the rookie. I can't call him the rookie. That's Sam. We'll have to figure something out.
He tricked us earlier. I thought he was rolling out super quick out the gate whenever qualifying started, but he elected to go back in. Let's see what he does here in the 21. I'm curious to see what he does.
I may have been watching him a little bit during practice, and if he can hold the line together that he was running during practice, oh boy, watch out.
To come in happy hour and be third quickest when the practice is concluded, that tells me right there he's no slouch. He has good speed. 31.422 for the first lap.
16th quickest. May have been just winding it up, though.
Yes, I've been watching. Everybody's first lap has kind of been a throwaway, just getting a little bit of heat in the tires.
A little bit of a wiggle out of Chad Wilson coming out of the corner. Awful close to touching that wall with the right rear. Dalton Kilroll. Hello, Dalton. 31.10. Up to 2. Yeah.
See what Chad does here at the line. First lap was a 31.42. Second lap was
a throwaway.
Basically the same, it looks like.
Did not count it.
Oh, that's why I didn't change. I was wondering. I thought my SDK was pulling tricks on me again.
All right, so Wilson's going to be working from the back of the pack. Well, mid-pack. And out comes the 12 of Mark Arthur. I did see him out on track a couple of times during practice, but boy, he has reasons for saying he doesn't like this car, and it's just not a good fit for him.
I think it's a mental block now, Chris. I really do.
I do too.
I think he's gotten in his own head and maybe starting to hit his confidence a little bit.
Yeah. The other thing too, and I think it's openly admitted that, because he does not like this car, he's not practicing. Well, that's
Bingo.
not like
That's
Mark.
A lot of it.
Mark has always been that guy. He's always been in a track racing or figuring out the car, figuring out the lines. And I think that is part of it there. Up way high in the corner is Mark Arthur trying to build up that head of steam. Coming out of turn number 4. Across the start-finish line.
It takes a while to get that Mustang motor wound up, so he had to go to the high side. It's a little slow, but we'll see what he does here. 31.702 for the first lap, like you said. See what he does here for lap number 2.
Yeah, highest running Ford right now, Hunter Lagunas in 7th spot.
They're just underpowered.
17 to 24. Yeah, that's just changed. Make it.
Wow,
19th.
I did see that. They were all bunched up together, wasn't they? All our Fords. Yeah. I just caught that right before it changed. I was just making a Ford joke. I wasn't being serious.
Well, joke no more.
Right.
We have a new pole sitter. His name, Mark Arthur, a 31.04. 5/100ths of a second faster than Cody Heinzman.
Depending on if that sticks, this could be his second pole award, and there's no better starting position than being in the front. We've heard track position all season long. It's been key. Will it hold? Will it stick?
5th starting spot right now belongs to Corey Sherman, and I got to be honest, that is something that he needs. He needs to turn that season around. He has been sinking in the points for a while. He's been waiting for these 1.5 miles. He's got them. Now he's going to have to make hay while the sun is shining.
I think the schedule really lines up with how Corey likes to drive and the tracks he likes. I think it's getting ready to all 180 for the 3 car.
Yeah, I think so. About a minute, 20 seconds left of qualifying. We've got 2 drivers that have not come out. Gordon Larson Jr. in the double lot. Mike Massengill in the 2-0. So Massengill in the 20. Gordon Larson in the double lot. Those 2 drivers, well, typically, I know Mike doesn't. I thought Gordon did, but maybe not.
So it looks as if that time is more than likely safe. So it's going to be an MFRD pole award for Mr. Mark Arthur, or so it should seem.
Yeah, it does. I mean, he 5/100ths of a second over Cody Heinzman. Blink. Just blink. There you go. "30 seconds left before we can start taking it through the grid. 26 drivers scheduled to go here tonight at Kentucky. And that is it. Qualifying has completed. On the pole tonight, driving the number 12, it's going to be Mark Arthur. To his outside from TNA Motorsports, the driver of the number 51, Cody Heinzman. Starting inside row number 2, out of MFRD, it is the 41 of Dalton Kilroe. To his outside, the driver of the number 88, it's going to be Jamie Walker. Starting inside row number 3, out of TNA Motorsports, it's the 3 of Corey Sherman. The DGR number 48, going to be starting in 6th spot. That's going to be Dylan Banks. Starting in 7th, the 99 Pit Lizard Performance Machine of Chris Carroll. Sam Lawson out of Five Kings Motorsports going to be starting outside row number 4 in his 24. Starting inside row number 5, it's the 27 of Hunter Lagunas. And to his outside from MFRD, it's the 17 of Brian Dees. Austin Edstrom going to pick up an 11th starting position in his number 87, and to his outside from Speed Mafia, it's going to be Rick Thompson. Starting in the 13th spot, the 1 out of MFRD, it's Ty Morosco, and to his outside, the Pit Lizard Performance number 4 of Larry Bell. Starting in 15th spot tonight from Speed Mafia, the 33, the Iron Man, John Perkins. To his outside, the 66 of Chris Berg. Starting in 17th tonight out of TNA Motorsports, it's the 8 of Amanda Sherman, and to her outside, it's the Ping Precision Racing number 81 of Dustin Ping. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Philip Van Vliet, Chad Wilson, Brian Zimmerman, Jason Bauer, Fred Thompson, Gordon Larson, and Mike Massengill round out the field as we get ready to go under the green flag. Mark Arthur going to lead the way into turns 1 and 2. He goes to the high side. Cody Heinzman drops down low. The 12 brings it back down to the yellow stripe, lets it float towards the wall. Mark Arthur halfway down. Well, make it into turns 3 and 4 now, leading this one.
It's exactly what the 12 car needs right here. So good for the confidence to lead this freight train around Kentucky Speedway right now. But Cody Heinzman's there, looking low on him right now already. Battle for the race lead, heating up into turn 1, Chris.
Just 2 laps in, Heinzman looking low on Mark Arthur. Cody Heinzman looking for the pass. Side by side now, heading into turns 3 and 4. The 51 has to back down just a little bit. The 12 able to stay on the throttle. At the line, it's going to be the 12. Battle for second now. Jamie Walker on the top side, trying to work over Cody Heinzman. Heinzman battles back through in turns 1 and 2.
I think as this run starts to build here, Chris, looks like that outside lane might be exactly where you need to be just for the momentum on the high side. But Cody's fighting strong, but on the low side. But Mark's just battling, grinding him out here on that outside lane.
I think what I'm seeing so far is down low through 1 and 2, up high in 3 and 4. 51 takes it down low. We are working turns 1 and 2. The 12 trying to come down just a little bit, pinch off the 51, get rid of any momentum that he has. It worked that time. Jamie Walker sits in third. Dalton Kilrow in fourth. Dylan Banks in the 48. Running in the fifth spot, Corey Sherman right behind him. Battle still wages on in the top 3 spots. And they may have decided to just let it go single file for a little bit here, Tanner.
It's looking like Cody might be content for second, but I don't know if Walker's content for third because he's looking to the outside of the 51 right here. Now the 51 is going to get clear once again at the maybe. I think he was for a moment there. It was close. We're battling right back to the inside of Mark. I don't know if he is content for second. Oh, it's going to be a little contact between them.
He just stayed off. Just stayed off. You could put a piece of paper between the cars. Cody Heinzman almost got into Mark Arthur.
Listening to the comms there, I can hear the drivers communicate. Cody, that was a moment for him. Mark, it sounded as if he didn't even know they touched.
Jamie Walker takes over second spot. His turn now to battle it out with Mark Arthur. Walker in the 88. He has been so strong in the last few points races. Contact again for the race lead.
Mark is trying to squeeze them down too low right now, just really trying to force them to stay committed to that low line, but just got to leave a little bit of room there for error.
Yeah, he's pinching them down, which is a good way to break the momentum, but it's also a good way to cause an incident on track.
It's scary.
So something to watch out for, and so is this 3 wide.
With Heinzman in the second position, and they were tight right there. Maybe a little contact between the 51 41 as they went into the corner. I see Dylan Banks laying in wake as well right there behind them.
Dylan Banks up to 4th spot. 8 laps in, we've already seen 3 wide action.
Walker,
oh, look at here we go there. Again.
87 aggressive move down low.
Austin Edstrom made a hell of a move. He dropped it down low. He took over 2 spots.
I want you to look, though, about the momentum out here, Chris. The 88 went from battling for the race lead to now running 5th in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Lost that momentum one time. That's all it took for the 88 to start falling back.
The old general at it again up front, looking good.
I also would like to note, Chris, a few weeks ago, we called the veterans out on After the Flag. Just outright called them out. Hey, these are 2 of the longest tenured BPO drivers running 1-2 right now. So I think the veterans have been woken up.
Yeah, I think, again, going to these cookie cutter type tracks, this is their forte. Now, we know Mark loves short track racing, but let's be honest, not a huge amount of success here in BPL as of late on those short tracks, but he is always good here on these cookie cutters. And so is Dalton Kilrow, and it's proving out. Austin Edstrom, he is running his own line, man, and I'll tell you, it almost worked out really well for him just a few laps ago. Well, it did, actually. He picked up 2 spots, but Edstrom right now up 5 positions. He is running.
An update on the playoffs. I know we mentioned Jason Bauer. He came into tonight's 16th. I got unfortunate news. He just connection dropped due to packet loss. We need to try to hustle to get back into the sim. He's losing some valuable points right now.
Yeah, he's losing valuable points and time on track, and neither one of those a good thing here for Jason Bauer, who sits atop the bubble. So Cody Heinzman right now in that 3rd spot, and Dalton Kilrow looks like he's going to take a swing at Mark Arthur. Kilrow's going to do it a little different. Dalton Kilrow's going to the outside. Maybe he can pinch the 12 down this time.
I think it was a mistake out of the 12. Let the 41. I don't know if he let him or if Dalton just strong-armed it away, but got that outside lane, and look at here. Going to get clear of the... that was close.
Contact. Maybe not. But the 41 kicked sideways just a little bit. They held it together, and Dalton Kilroe is going to be the race leader. Oh, look at this. Cody Heinzman may have figured something out there when the 41 went around. Cody Heinzman out of the outside. Right behind him, it's Dylan Banks. Heinzman, Banks, at it again.
Talking to Mark just throughout the season, this is what he's told me. He says he struggles about 15 laps in. He cannot manage the tire wear as well as these other guys can and maintain the pace. And that's exactly what we're seeing here, Chris.
So the trick is to just not lose as much as you can. Without overdriving the car. You overdrive the car, you make everything 10 times worse.
Tenfold, right. You've got to go to damage control mode now. As he's still got, I mean, he's just halfway done with this stage. We still got 15 laps to go before the stage ends. So he's just going to hang on now and try to, like you said, just try to mitigate the damage here.
Well, the 12 is going to be under attack by Chris Carroll. Carroll looking down low on the 87. That's Austin Edstrom. But Carroll looks good.
No love lost from the 99 and the 12, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny how they always seem to find each other no matter where it's at.
Now the 99 dropping down low. Mark Arthur stays up high. That is the preferred line. You can hold the momentum there. But without the tires, it's been a challenge for the 12. Able to hold off Carroll that time. Really good racing here so far for the Blazing Pedals. Your race leader, Dalton Kilroe, Cody Heinzman in second, Dylan Banks third, Jamie Walker fourth. Chris Carroll does get around the 12 of Mark Arthur. Look at the top. I mean, unbelievable. Great racing. I was going to say look at the top 5, but then there's Mark, then Brian, then Austin.
Big moment at Chris Carroll. Sorry to interrupt you. Chris Carroll. Yeah, I think he tank slapped the wall, but he got wicked loose. Car got really upset there out of turn 2, I believe it was.
Yeah, we had the camera right on him. The Soul Stealer, Brian D, is now to the back bumper of the 12. And Tanner, you're right. Since about lap 14, 15, somewhere in there, the 12 has been steadily going back.
And he's losing what right now? Valuable stage points. He needs those points right there at the cutoff. Every point matters. Almost contact between him and the Soul Stealer. So Mark, I feel like he's touched a few out here. He's fighting. That tells me he's fighting right there.
Oh, we got him going around. It's the Iceberg and Corey Sherman.
No, Corey's got damage too. Maybe not a lot. No, he does. I believe there's something broke in the car, Chris.
Uh-oh. All right. Corey just came down into the 66 after the corner. It looks like he was trying to correct. And unfortunately, the way he had to correct, it took out the Iceberg.
Corey just cannot shake the bad luck gremlin right now. It's all on him.
Yeah, and then...
Watch here. Something happens here.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes around again.
I feel for him.
And nonetheless, here we are, lap number 21, rolling under caution. Caution out on lap number 20.
Cody Heinzman elects to lose all the track position he had, goes down pit road there. That's an interesting call.
He's not the only one. Heinzman, Sherman was part of the accident, but Gordon Larson Taylor, Butcher Benjamin, Fred Thompson, Chris Berg. Well, Berg, again, was part of the accident. But a few drivers opting to maybe take a run at stage number 2.
I'm trying to go back here. I want to find out what Heisman took 4 tires as well. So he's just going to probably take it easy to the end of the stage. But man, oh man, I feel like tires are so important here tonight. But maybe he knows something I don't for certain. He's smart.
Yeah, he is now out of sync with the likes of the 41 Dalton Kilrow, the 48 of Dylan Banks, Jamie Walker, Chris Carroll, Brian Dees. He's out of sync with all those drivers. We're going to see if it works or not.
And from race control, that caution was put on the 66 of Chris Berg.
Really?
It was. I didn't see the actual wreck. I saw the aftermath of it, but just forwarding along the message. So the 66 not only has some damage now, he's also going to the back.
Jason, hate to hear that, bud. Always got to double check those connections whenever you move anything. And caution number 1.
It's going to make an interesting little sprint to the stage caution here. It's going to be about 6-7 laps or so to the end of the lap number 30. So that's going to make it interesting. I'm going to be watching that battle from about 10th, 9th, and 8th because those points are so valuable for those guys right now, guys and ladies.
Biggest mover of the race so far. Give it to the rookie. The number 21 Prime Toyota Camry. Chad Wilson up 9 spots since the drop of the green. Caution lights go down. Next time by will be under green. Kilrow, Banks, Walker, Carroll, your top 4.
Kilroy's going to need a good launch here. Cannot afford really to let the 48 be to his outside going into 1 and 2. I do not believe. I think that outside lane's just faster right now outright, right? You can pinch that guy down the low line and keep your momentum up, whereas they're having to lift to stay off of you.
Yeah, the only advantage right now that Kilrow really has to try and take advantage of is he's going to choose when this thing starts back up.
Dylan Banks is basically like a top fuel dragster right now. He's got his light is Dalton Kilrow. He needs to fire off and be right there with the 41 on the loud pedal.
Good looking group of cars getting ready to go back under the green flag, coming out of turns 3 and 4. Pace car takes the hard left-hand turn. We're waiting for the Geico restart zone. The 41 has control of the field. Banks starts moving up just a little bit. And anytime. There it is. Towards the end of it. Kilrow with a great launch.
Dalton made him wait. Banks was not ready. Oh, they're stacking up.
Oh,
In the
they're
middle.
stacking
Chad
big
around.
time.
The Iron Man around of John Perkins. That was a big one there. I saw the 21.
Caution.
Ooh, hearing words from Chad, he's had a shifter deal. He took blame instantly.
Right off the get-go, we go back under caution. Keep an eye on the Prime 21.
Tries to go up a gear and just...
Oh, wow.
It just snaps. Yeah, that tells me there, Chris, he downshifted. He went down in the first or second there.
Yeah, that
He
rear
went
end.
down.
It went all kinds of bad. Let's see.
I
From
hear it.
Amanda Sherman's cockpit.
He is super devastated. That's definitely not what he wanted. You can hear it in his voice. I hate that for him. That was pretty hard contact for Amanda there too.
From the hobbies. Corey found a wreck that he didn't get involved with. Ladies and gentlemen, there
He
we
waved
are.
to Amanda when she was spinning after he went by her.
I saw that. How about out of the windshield of Mike Massingdill?
I'm hearing that Heisman was involved. I didn't see it, but
He
also saying,
was.
was he?
Yeah, he just. We'll do that one right now. Out of the windshield of the 51 Cody Heinzman. I hate this one because really he didn't. I don't think he got any damage out of it. He did have to go off track, but it did
That was some
happen
damn
right
good
in
avoidance,
front
though.
of him.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was some real good avoidance. That happened legit right off his front hood.
So here we are, lap 26 under the caution. Our race leader, Dalton Killer, Jamie Walker to the outside. He was able to get around Dylan Banks. So Walker up one. Restart's going to be Kilrow, Walker, Banks, and Carroll, Brian Dees, and I believe Mark Arthur is going to be slotted in sixth.
As Chris, I know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. Did you do anything eventful today?
Yeah. Yeah, sure did, bud. Did a little charity run on the other side of our beautiful state for the VA hospital. Raised just shy, and I do mean just shy of $40,000 for the VA hospital here in Vermont through a motorcycle group that I am proud to be associated with.
That is just awesome. $40,000 for the local VA hospital. Just awesome. How many miles?
350-ish, we're gonna call it.
350 miles.
Just a really awesome day. A little bit of sprinkles, but never really the rain. What a really awesome way to spend a Sunday, and then to cap it off here tonight, watching a little racing.
Talking racing with a redneck from Kentucky. It gets no better, does it? Rode the motorcycle all day. Now you get to talk to me. That is awesome, though. So congratulations on that. That's big. $40,000. That's a lot of money, bro.
Yeah,
just to raise for a day.
I'll tell you, there's some stories that came out of today that I don't think I'll ever forget in my life. Got to say hi to Gail Sherman, though. Gail and Richie checking in from New York. Halfway through this last lap under caution before we send it back under the green flag.
Remember that sprint I mentioned 5 laps ago?
Yeah.
Well, that sprint just got a lot smaller now. We're going to have a 2-lap shootout here. Remember, the end of lap number 30, folks. I forgot that the first 10 weeks of the season.
Bonus
But I know it now.
points for the top 10. Oh, boy.
Ooh, terrible start for Jamie Walker on the outside. Don't know what happened with the 88.
Just didn't go. But
allowed
Kilrow
Dylan
and Banks did.
Yeah, it allowed Banks to take over P2 here. Now, Banks needs every point he can possibly ever grab. So it's interesting to see what happens here. Oh!
Austin Edstrom gets a little contact from the Soul Stealer, Brian Dees. Dees sails it in. They're 3 wide.
Mark Arthur drove it off a cliff in there as well on the high side, trying to get every point he can. He's got a battle now heating up for the top spot. Banks to the inside of 41. May have led that lap that time by.
Dylan Banks credited with that lap. And
Power
he is
move
gone.
48. We haven't seen the inside lane work that good at all tonight. Oh, we see why it worked, though. Outside wall.
Man, he was carrying speed.
Look
out at 17. Teammates right there making contact.
Just got to survive now. Don't tear up the car across the line. Cash the check. Caution should be coming in just a second. Oh, Hunter Lagoon's in the wall. It's a caution comes out.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Those stage races get hairy, and I'm just a broadcaster. So they don't mean nearly as much to me as they do to these drivers.
Top 10 for stage number 1. Dylan Banks, Jamie Walker, Dalton Kilrow, Brian Dees, and Chris Carroll. That's your top 5. 6 through 10, Austin Edstrom, Mark Arthur, Cody Heinzman, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, and Sam Lawson. So Sam Lawson, he was one of the guys before we went live that was saying how this car wasn't great. In fact, it's terrible here. His words. Finishes inside the top 10 here for stage number 1.
He's coming in with a lot of momentum. He won the Majors World 100, a dirt race at Eldora this afternoon. The top split race, he actually won it. I believe our race control director, Tom Friedis, I think he was running 3rd and ended up finishing 14th. Got wrecked with like 2 laps to go. But it was a pretty big deal, pretty big race, I reckon, that the governor won today.
Good stuff. I love hearing about the success that, drivers here at BPL have in other racing. I love hearing that.
You drop any driver in that's inside this top 10 currently, you drop him in another league, they're battling for wins.
Consistently. Well, Cody Heinzman went off sequence with everybody else. So did Sam Lawson. Right now, it's paying dividends. Cody Heinzman going to be the race leader when we go back to the green flag.
And Chris, you think he pit on lap 20? There wasn't a whole lot of green flag laps from the time he pit to the end of the stage break, right? They had 2 quick cautions in between that period. So
yeah,
he's basically got fresh tires.
Yeah, what do we have? Like 5 laps, maybe?
Maybe.
He won the slip. He ran the slip off from him. That's about it. What I mean there, if you're not familiar, these tires for the first lap or two until they get up to pressure and the temperature, they're a little bit slippery. I don't know if it's true in this car. That's the only thing. Well, I'm going to go with yes.
Absolutely is. Those first, especially here tonight, I was hearing during the happy hour, the first 2 laps, the car was just actually unpredictable, wrecking loose. But then it started to develop to be naturally just tight. It's just all about the temperatures in that tire, and like you mentioned, the pressures getting up to the right spot and everything. All above my pay grade. You're the crew chief. You're the one that knows about all that. I just try to drive the car as fast as my ability, and usually it's pretty slow.
I want to know how Cody is able to type and drive at the same time.
Very impressive how he can multitask. And not only drive, but drive really damn good. leading the race right now good.
I mean, I get we're under caution, but wow.
Whoa, I just looked. He really just answered your question as he was driving. That's awesome.
He's driving with his chin. Yeah. Somehow I can see that.
The old Smurf, ketchup man. I can't really call him Smurf anymore because he don't have the blue hair.
Driving with his chin, he could still win a league race in any other league.
And also, don't forget, I'm pretty sure he's won the last 2 races, the All-Star race and then Milwaukee before that, I believe. Yeah. I'll go back, double check, but I'm pretty sure he went back to back.
Pretty sure you said that in the interview last week, if I remember correctly.
That's what I'm thinking. And I'm thinking correctly, finally.
Even a blind man gets the time right.
Even a blind squirrel will find a nut eventually.
I'm just mixing metaphors. I love it. Yeah. I may be a little bit tired.
I mean, you only did 350 miles down on a motorcycle. Only, right? 45 minutes on mine back in the day, and I was young too. And I was ready to crawl in a bed and lay down somewhere.
Let me tell you, I'm far from young nowadays.
And they're anything but comfortable. I'm sorry. Some might be a little bit more comfortable than others, but they're never really comfortable.
Mine's a couch. I love mine.
I've heard some people say that before. Call it a couch or a recliner.
Yeah. But I left the house at 5:45 this morning. Got home about 4:30, somewhere in there. That's a long day, brother. That's 10 hours.
I know you said it sprinkled some, but the sun was out sometimes too. With that sun beating down on you, just drains you.
Yeah. On the way home, I caught some sun for the first time of the day, and then it went away again. Speaking of going away, there goes the pace car.
Yep. Next stage break is lap number 64, so they got some laps to do in between now and then.
Here we go. We're in the Geico restart zone. The 51 hits the hammer down. Cody Heinzman gonna hold the race lead. Battle for second. Ryan Zimmerman, Sam Lawson. Look who's right behind them. Recovered from that incident earlier on. It's Chris Berg and Corey Sherman.
I was watching them. I was wondering if they were going to be down on speed, down on pace, but I don't believe they are. They look plenty competitive up here right now. The driver who is leading the charge that pit on lap number 32 is TBB currently, but now it's him and Dylan Banks going back and forth. They're currently right at 6th and 7th. So I'll keep an eye on them, see how much faster they are than our race leader. If they are faster than our race leader.
I don't know if you're going to be able to tell if they're running side by side. Cody Heinzman has the track all to himself.
And looks to be checking. And I'll also be honest here. I think Cody Hines is fast enough that I don't know if tires really play into his equation a whole lot. I think you give him track position and that trumps all.
Oh, I think that could be said of a lot of drivers.
That is true. Very true.
We've seen it time and time again. That clean air, we haven't had to say it for a little while, but that clean air makes all the difference.
It just seems like the car turns a little bit better. It's a little bit faster than the straightaway. It's just a bunch of little stuff that add up, right?
That's it. We got a battle for second spot right now. Lawson, Zimmerman. Lawson on the inside in the 24, looking to try and take it over. He does.
The governor with a good move. Corey Sherman going to try to follow suit. Actually lost the momentum there, had to lift a little bit, but Corey's looking great here, battling back after that early race incident.
Yeah, he really needs to be able to battle back. As the regular season starts to close, it can't be just a one and done, or else you're going to find yourself on the outside looking in.
So this is when, I mean, like I said, it's really starting to matter now. You got to start putting some momentum together.
It's mattered since race 1, but now,
Right.
if you're in that top 16, you cannot go a lap without being on track. You just can't do it. Dylan Banks working over Brian Zimmerman. Zimmy fights back on the outside. Almost making contact.
I was wondering if they hit there or not. That was weird how they came together, but then they went apart just as fast. That was very, very weird. Now Dylan's got the clean air above him. He's going to try to see if he can track down the governor.
Brian Zimmerman. 28 car up 18 positions since the drop of the green flag. Make it 17 as Jamie Walker goes on by.
Chris, I don't know if it's the tires discrepancy between them, but it looks like that inside lane starting to prevail a little bit more now here tonight.
Ooh, Zimmy getting loose. Corey Sherman saw it, but unable to capitalize on the inside, so he's going to go nose to tail once again. The battle right now going to be for 7th spot. Chris Berg has it. Chris Carroll wants it. Carroll on the inside, going to try and make it work. Oh!
Whoa, that was close.
Man, oh man, that was close.
I don't know if the spotter ever truly said clear there. I think he got clear himself. That was really close, but Berg trying to fight back on the outside, but now Carroll to the inside of the 3, the priority auto number 3. Excuse me for that. I don't know why I struggled so bad there. Beautiful car, though. It made me speechless is what it was. I was speechless there.
Yeah, it really is a beautiful car. Let's check in on the pole sitter here tonight. Mark Arthur currently running in the 12th spot. He's working the outside of Austin Edstrom, trying to get there. We're not able to do it through that round of corners. Cody Heinzman had himself a pretty good lead there for a little while, but Sam Lawson in the 24 looks to be picking him up a little bit. Just a little bit faster as Sam Lawson last time by, 31.85. Cody Heinzman, 31.89.
As I got bad news to report, but we just lost Amanda Sherman, the 8 car. She put it down and put it on the hauler. So something happened with the 8 car that we may have just not caught. Caught or not, she is no longer in the session, so that's going to really shake up the playoff bubble now. Her and Jason Bauer both having issues here tonight.
Yeah, not only did she get off the track, but Cody, she got out of team speak too. I was going to pull her up, see what happened, but she's already gone.
Well, hopefully it was just like a computer issue or something like that. Nothing serious, right? As the battle for P2's heating up here, Chris. Banks to the inside of Sam Lawson. Can Lawson battle back on a back stretch? He will for this lap. I don't know how much longer this battle will go on. 48 looks hungry.
Yeah, so does the 88 of Jamie Walker, just kind of waiting his time.
Lawson doing a good job. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Chris Carroll right behind Jamie Walker, so 2 heavy hitters right there, 4th and 5th.
Oh, Jamie Walker tried to make a move over to the outside of the 24. 24 saw it, and he blocked it. That's not a way to make friends here. Jamie, he's a veteran, though. Like I mentioned, he's pretty cool, calm, collected. I think I raced 2.5 years, Chris, in this series before I ever heard Jamie say a word.
Yeah, he's very, very quiet over the comms typically, which means if you do hear him,
you've done something wrong.
Yeah, there's something going on there. Walker able to get by Sam Lawson now. Chris Carroll trying to follow him through on the inside. Carroll maybe a little bit quicker than Walker, but Walker was in the way. Now he's not. Chris Carroll looking for third.
Chris was painting that yellow line right then in 1 and 2. He was all the way down, actually dragging the apron a little bit. I think you hit the nail on the head perfectly earlier. Didn't you say kind of low in 1 and 2, a little bit higher 3 and 4?
Yes, sir.
That's the crew chief right there. Listen to him. He'll talk you through a few wins.
So it's the Heinzman, Banks, and Carroll show one more time.
The top 3. That's how they currently sit in the power rankings, I do believe.
Funny how that works. It's
I'm
almost like
you.
you've been paying attention, Tanner.
Right? A little bit, huh? They don't mean nothing. I promise you. They don't. In my opinion, don't mean any more than anybody else's. But I do try to at least get some stats to back it up. At least I do a little bit of research. As I'm excited to have them back tomorrow. They're coming back after being off this past week for the All-Star race. Excited to have the BPL Power Rankings back tomorrow.
And make sure to check out Blazing Pedals on Facebook.
Yep, they release every Monday. Typically, I can tell you they'll be every Monday before 7 p.m. Eastern. But I usually try to put them up at about noon. But Monday afternoon, always come check us out. See where your favorite driver landed at. Or maybe your favorite driver got bumped off the list.
All things are possible. Well, Sam Lawson, for a little while, was battling up there towards the front of the pack, and now he is back to 6th spot, and he's under attack.
That 6th spot, I think, is turning into about 11th. There's some really fast guys that he's backed right up to. But he's pulling them a little bit now. But now Mark and Corey, they're side by side, so naturally they're a little bit slower. But I believe Sam, he's doing what we saw the 12 car do earlier. He used them up maybe a little bit too quick.
Corey Sherman trying to find a hole and just not having the best of luck with it.
In a box, and he's in the middle, 3 wide. My God, it got tight there.
And the 1 and the 3 ride side by side, 3 wide. I'll tell you, I've been around for a while.
That's a scary sentence right there.
Oh, there it
goes right there. Corey into the 1. 1 goes around. 3 goes around.
There it is.
And the 1's still shoving. I'm not sure if he wasn't shoving. I have a little frustration right there. As my goodness, Chris Legoo, you need to go play the lottery because you just spoke something into existence, basically. That was impressive. Matter of fact, you don't play the lottery. Just give me the numbers. I'll go play the lottery. What a wreck. Can't say you didn't see it coming, huh?
Nah. And I don't know. It looks like Corey just didn't know he was out there because he just came up. He had a good run.
You know what? Chris, I hate even. It looks like he got into the back of Edstrom, or was going to, and got on the brakes a little bit, Chris, and that just shoved the nose up. Because it definitely looked like he goes up into him. I think he loses the nose in that car and shoves up. He gets really close to Edstrom, I can see on my end. It's hard to tell on the stream. I was watching right then. Maybe I'm completely wrong and full of it here, but that's what I saw right there.
Trying to find maybe this one. He just had a really good run. He stayed out of the back of Edstrom, but you're right. He was going to clobber the back end of that car. and he tried to take evasive action, and the 3 and the 1 do what the 3 and the 1 do.
Right. Looks like he either had to maybe lift a little bit, so that's going to make the back end not rotate around as much. So what's that going to do? Climb the hill. It's inside baseball. I know it's really deep, but I truly think that's what we saw happen right there. And that sucks because that run the 3, or probably run the 3's race. We've seen him involved in 2 incidents now. Will the 3 still be kicking and ticking? I'm trying to get a damage report for you right here, right now. So the 1 car, well, Chris, I cannot lie. He's hit that telephone pole that we have not seen out here. He's a Ford, and looks like he hit a telephone pole.
Yep. I know exactly what it looks like.
And looks like Corey hit a telephone pole, but just with the passenger side of his car.
Yeah, that kind of goes in line with what we saw. That side did hit the wall.
Yep. But now the telephone pole on the Ford Mustang, I'm not exactly sure where that damage came from, but it does look like he hit a telephone pole going about 40, 50. All jokes aside, that's probably a race ender for both them cars, and that sucks to see.
Yeah, really can't afford that. The 3 car is coming back out.
Yeah, it's good to see him at least come back out. The 3 car don't look all that bad, really, until you really start get up close to it and examine it. So he may be okay.
Yeah, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm telling you right now, that 3, it's got to stay on track.
As I'm trying to look to see where Corey is at in the points. So he's 12th right now. He's 8 points behind his fellow teammate, the lone Dutchman, Philip Van Vliet, who's in 11th. And he's 23 points ahead of Chris Berg, who's in 13th. So he has a little bit of wiggle room, but not a lot. He cannot afford any more problems.
Disconnects. He can't disconnect anymore. He's got to finish races.
Whether it's laps down or not, he has to finish them because you can always gain a few spots. That was my worst straight last year. I'd get down and would just leave, right? And it just kills your points. You go from a 20th place finish to a 33rd place finish pretty quick.
Yep, absolutely. Well, not the debut run that the 21 Prime car was looking for right now. Several laps down, running in 24th is Chad Wilson. It's kind of a shame. During the happy hour, he was one of the fastest guys out there on track, but come race time, wasn't able to put it together. Had some issues with the shifter.
As Chris, you're going to believe it, we're about to have another little shootout here to the end of the stage. Remember, stage 2 ends on lap number 64. At the end of 64, coming to 65, we're going to give out more bonus points. 10 points to the winner, 1 point who finished 10th.
No, brother, I believe it. It
always works out like that, don't it?
It has been more common than not to have little shootouts for stage enders this season.
I've always been one where I say, well, you can't blame the car, you can't blame the track, you got to blame the drivers, right? This season has truly told me this car, I think, has a lot to do with a lot of this. I really do. I mean, I truly think that everybody's right on top of each other. So just one small mistake and boom, you see what happens.
Yeah. Hey, our pole sitter, the 12 car, going to be restarting in the 4th spot. Definitely lives in a Barbie world.
No, he's a Barbie girl.
Cody Heinzman gonna get that jump that we're so accustomed to seeing out of the race leader. He's gonna bring Dylan Banks with him. Early battle on this restart. It's gonna be for 3rd spot. Chris Carroll, Sam Lawson. Lawson on the bottom. Here comes the 87 of Austin Edstrom. Chris Carroll able to escape. Oh, the 24 woeing up. Austin Entrim just did not get into that corner very well. That's going to allow Mark Arthur to take sole responsibility of the 4th spot.
The governor parked it on the 87th nose there in 3 and 4. 87 can go up high. You don't want no more of that.
The 24 car does not look like it's pleased to be out there right now, as he is falling back very quickly.
The driver we haven't said much about tonight, RT76. Throw his name into the hat. He's up there. Take the spot over away from Lawson. Edstrom did as well. Now the junker, Hunter Lagoon's trying to do the same. Definitely something going on with the 24 car here.
Yeah, the handling has definitely gone away. Last time on pit road for Sam Lawson, lap number 20. That could be the whole explanation right there.
He's limping to the end of this thing, trying to see that yellow flag waving. He's 3 wide here, almost 4 wide. It gets tight there, fellas.
Dalton Kilroe back up the 7th spot early on, leader of the race. Kilroe working. And man, is that car working well. He's on the outside. He's carrying all kinds of speed now. Gets jammed up by RT76.
He looks free, like he can put that car basically anywhere he wants it to go right now. Wherever he wants to point the nose, it goes there. Made the pass on the low side. Now he's on the outside of RT76. That battle came and gone. Now he's looking forward to the 12 car, the Barbie Mobile.
Yeah, Dalton Kilroe right now very fast. We've got a change on the lead. Dylan Banks able to get around the 51. It is getting hot and heavy here.
The 12 car to the inside of the 41. The 99 comes down, slows the run down. They're 3 wide for the race lead. Coming to the end of stage number 2 here, Chris.
My Lord.
Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? Banks, I believe, got it at the line.
Banks did have it at the line. Caution comes out. Holy smokes. If the finish is anywhere near that exciting, we're in for a good one. And Kilroe just came out of nowhere. That car turned on.
He could put it anywhere he wanted to.
And I know why.
I was wondering, did he?
Yeah. Lap 56, Dalton Kilroe came down. Pit time, 15:08. That's enough time for 4 tires and fuel.
Absolutely, that explains it all. I was wondering how in the hell he saved that much tire. That's okay. That's something to keep tabs on here as we start to come down to the later stages of this race. Might be able to get off strategy here and get the track position the hard way. Go up there and take it away.
Hello, Sam, out there on the road. Hope you're having a good one, bud. Be safe.
Absolutely, be safe. Watch the idiots out there on the road. That's
all right.
One.
I think we can do the top 10 now. Everybody's kind of in their spot.
Looks like we're going to have a busy pit road this time. Kilroe brings it back down pit road.
Kilroe, Banks, Heinzman.
Crew chief, I'm expecting the 41 to be fuel only probably here, you would think?
I would think so. We're going to keep an eye on him.
I think you said he pit, what, 10 laps ago? I believe 52, 14 laps ago, something like that, 15.
Last on 46. So that'd be 20 laps ago.
Oh, you might see tires here again then. Let's see. No tires for the 41.
Only.
Fuel only call. So fill that Chevy Camaro up with Sunoco race fuel. He's going to be leading the field around.
Ladies and
This has
gentlemen,
been an eventful race.
Yeah, it has, and stages are now complete except for the final one. Lap 162. Now the strategies really start coming out.
So from lap 64 to 160, what is that, 98 laps here for the final stage. Now it's a little bit shorter now because we've done laps under caution. So it's going to be about roughly 95 or so laps to go when they go back green here.
What was it you were telling me about tires earlier?
I can't remember, but I know it's like a cheese grater. I do know that. The right front. Oh, I had a driver, I'm not going to mention the name, but during happy hour told me they went 37 laps, and that's when the crew chief on iRacing, he'll come over and say, you need to take care of your tires. And he'll say that when you're at 50% or less. It's the tire warning is what us iRacers call it. So after 30-something laps, they heard that. So that tells me they are really using the right front up here tonight more than typical.
Yeah, pretty amazing. I've remember having tires down in like the 30s.
Right.
And wow.
I'm thinking you could be seeing two stops, two different pit stops this stage right here. You can go about 65 laps on fuel here. So they're going to stop at least once for the fuel. But I think the tires are going to be too much of a premium. You can't afford to one stop this. I don't think, but now I'm just a broadcaster too.
The person who takes care of their tires the best is going to win this race. And it may be a shocker.
And also, stand corrected a while ago, I said Dalton was lead the field around. The Soul Stealer is going to lead the field around. Jamie Walker in that Mountain Dew number 88, he's going to be P2. Kilro's in third, so he's starting inside row number 2. And Dylan Banks in the 48 going to be firing off outside row number 2 when we go back green flag racing.
Yeah, and what we've seen so far is that inside line, although you don't want to stay there for too long, at least on the restarts, not a terrible place to be. So the 41, and you know he's working with his teammate, you know there's going to be a countdown, I would assume.
You would assume, right, yeah.
So the 41 may be sitting pretty here.
And now the 17 being the race leader, we have not seen our race leader really be under fire off any of these restarts. They pretty much get gone. So if he can get gone, I think you're right. We may see the 41 just drop anchor or pick anchor up and go and take over P2 here as well.
And Brian Dees getting credit for leading some laps here tonight. Congratulations to the Soul Stealer.
Hey, that's been my only knock on him this year for the power rankings. He has not really led a lot of laps. He's ran inside the top 5 a lot, but hasn't led a ton of laps. So this is good. This is adding on to that lap counter.
I'll tell you, we haven't talked about him a lot here tonight, but the Iron Man, John Perkins, right now still trying to figure out how to make his way up towards the front. Perkins right now being scored 21st position.
If you look at the driver's side of his car, it's got some damage. So remember, we saw him go around earlier. So he's living up to the Iron Man name. Pace cars back down.
Has control of the field. Not that one, but this next one. He's in the restart zone. He doesn't waste a lot of time. He's gone. The 48 pushing on the back of the 88.
Everything we said was wrong. 17 got a great launch, but so did the 88. The 48 did as well. Kilroe lost a spot there.
Gosh. Yeah. The 48 made that happen. Dylan Banks got right on the rear bumper of the 88 and did not lift. Brian Dees leads some laps. Here comes the 88. Gonna put the pressure on early. Jamie Walker stuffs it out. He's got the race lead. Jamie Walker in the 88.
As I looked it up, that's 66,000 virtual race fans going crazy there to see the 88 out front. It ain't Junior, though, driving Dale Jr. It's Jamie Walker. And he's going to get himself a race led here at Kentucky.
Walker kind of picking up right where he left off before last week's All-Star break.
I mentioned it in my write-up for the power rankings regarding the 88. He is firing on all cylinders right here at the perfect time. Yes, the playoffs have not started, but he's just building momentum each and every week.
Yeah, and the other side of that is he's getting a very good feel for the car when it's out front.
Yep, exactly.
Dylan Banks sits in third. Cody Heinzman fourth. Chris Carroll fifth. Really no surprise there. After that restart, Dalton Kilroe's working backwards, but may have found his stride in the sixth spot. He's under attack by DP, Dustin Ping. Ping. Hey, the original DP out there in chat. Buddy, I hope you're having a great time on vacation. You and the family, always deserving.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm jealous, DP. Where are y'all at right now? Where y'all on vacation at? As I'm sitting here watching Brian Dees, I'm riding on board with him. He's currently searching. He's trying to see if he can get the power down to maybe try to make a move on 88. But I believe they're so close on pace right now, just not able to truly make a move and make it a meaningful move.
I think we have been working together now long enough, because just before you started talking about him, I put the camera on him.
I'm telling you, we do it all the time too now. It seems like we're figuring each other out as it goes. I told you each week it had to get better. The first time we ever got together, that was the worst it could ever be. And look at him up battle for the race lead. 17 got to the inside of the 88. He's gonna make the pass too. I think the 88 just basically, I don't know if he outright gave it to him, but he didn't fight him too hard.
No, I think that was actually a very smart move from the 88. Why bother? If the guy's faster than you, get the pass done, get back in line, live to fight another day.
Exactly. Damage control. I mentioned it earlier. You know you're losing that one spot. Don't exacerbate it and make it 2 or 3 spots.
Side-by-side battle. Yeah, it was, bud. Side-by-side battle right now for 4th spot. Chris Carroll, Cody Heinzman. Carroll on the inside of the 99. Heinzman maybe giving it up. So many different strategies going right now. Do you waste tire and race hard? Do you save tire and let it go back a little bit?
The $1 million question every week.
Our pole sitter, Mark Arthur, inside of the top 10, in 10th right now. I tell you, he may not like this car, but he's having a whale of a race. Another guy having a heck of a race here is Dustin Ping. He has been, if you want some excitement on track, just go to the 81 here tonight. Boy, Ping is doing a good job. He had those right side tires right on that dark portion of the asphalt. Just where you want him to be, going through 1 and 2. And he had the left sides through 3 and 4. Man, he is doing a great job right now, sitting in 6th spot.
As just checking in from chat with the original DP, old Power Face, that he's down in Branson, old Branson, Missouri. I've been there when I was younger. I don't really remember it, but I have been there. As Lori also says, Mark's wanting to get his win before he goes on vacation. Going to be missing the next 2 weeks due to being on a cruise ship. That's always interesting. First time cruise, I believe, for Mark.
Never did one.
I know Mr. Terry Foster. He's done.
Oh, he's done
a few
tons.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's what they call a frequent flyer when it comes to being on them cruise ships.
Yeah, frequent flyer on a boat.
Right.
Well, battle right now for third spot. Jamie Walker, Chris Carroll. Carroll on the outside. It's going to have the momentum. And he takes that spot away. Jamie starting to fade a little bit.
I just want to send a huge shout out to the Soul Stealer. I mean, I'll be honest here. He's kind of been screwed week in and week out. One week he's in the power rankings, next week he's not. He's always been within the top 5 in the points, so he's had a great season. He just flies under the radar. Well, tonight, he's not flying underneath any radar. He is the radar.
He's dead center. Having a great race is Brian Dees, but Dylan Banks maybe trying to start setting him up.
I think the pressure's starting to amount.
I don't know that that's pressure. I think that the tires are starting to go away on the 17. That was a push.
I think you're 100% right.
I don't think he can turn that wheel anymore. You can see it on the exit.
Look at Banks and Carroll going head to head. They actually had a little bit of contact there. As Dees actually loves seeing that. He wants to see the 99 and the 48 start battling it out. That would take some of the pressure, some of the heat off of him, because now Banks thought he was looking to the outside. Dees covered that perfectly, did a great job, but now Banks to the inside, 3 and 4.
Yeah, that 17 has gone tight.
Just can't rotate right there from the middle off the corner. You can see it. You can see it right there. He climbed that hill on the exit, but still kept the momentum there. Good corner out of the 17, even though he is struggling.
Yeah, the problem right now is you keep battling on the outside like that.
It gets worse.
Tires are only, yeah, they're just going to get worse. And we're seeing it happen.
Every lap, every time he cranks that wheel just a little bit more up there, it's just multiplying it, getting worse and worse and worse.
Now you can cool them down. You want to know how I know that? Because the next guy right behind Dees is the 88. He did the same thing earlier. He kind of started moving backwards. Well, he let the tires cool down a little bit. Now he's marching back up towards the front. He got around Cody Heinzman, and Jamie Walker now puts the sights on the 17 of Brian Dees.
I'm going to be watching here. Can the 99, can he hang pace with the 48? If he can stay about like this right here, he can capitalize later on in this run. He just cannot afford to let that 48 get very much clean air, get very much room in between him and the race leader.
Jamie Walker makes the pass, but at what cost? He floated up towards the top of the track. May have re-angered those tires. And look at the 17. Look how much slower he is in the corner right now because of that tight condition.
Actually, almost got into the outside wall right there off turn 4. So he's definitely just running out of wheel. He's turning it, but it's not turning.
I would give up the next 2 spots, fall in line, and let it cool down.
Yep, you got to regroup at this point. Cut bait, regroup. Now, if he can slide in front of them and ride, he's okay, but I don't believe he can. Look at the 81.
Yeah.
Was trying to look underneath him there, got a little tight himself. Oh, the 81 of Ping actually gets into the outside wall a little bit.
This right here is what Dees needs. He needs the whole track to try and settle that thing back in. I think he may have cooled him down just enough. He's starting to roll again. Here comes RT76, though. Rick Thompson, looking to get inside of that top 5, has got one driver in front of him to stop it.
And right in front of them guys, Chris, we have a frequent battle we've seen a few times here tonight and this season. Walker and Heinzman, they're battling it out here, duking it out for 3rd place as Heinzman just takes that spot away from Danny Walker.
Now Cody Heinzman getting around Walker in the He did it on the inside. That was through 1 and 2. And I'm still going to hold on to the inside of 1 and 2. The outside of 3 and 4 are the way to go around this track. But the 51 able to keep it down through 3 and 4 for that last time by. Tire management is the name of the game here as of right this moment. Last time our race leader was on pit road, lap number 66. Jamie Walker has 10 lap older tires and still maintaining pace. Heinzman may be a little bit quicker than Carroll right now, but trying to figure out a way around Carroll is another story altogether. Cody Heinzman sitting in the 3rd spot. Check in on Brian Dees. We saw him get really tight. Those tires were unhappy. Seems to be a little bit better right now. Brian Dees sits in the 6th spot. RT76 able to get around him. Rick Thompson trying to make that Ford work. Boy, Thompson holding a pretty wheel right there. Jamie Walker starting to lose a bunch of time, though, to the top 3. 4th place, Jamie Walker is going to have to find some extra speed here. Heinzman taking a peek to the inside. This is a battle for 2nd. Heinzman to the inside of the 99. And Carroll going to let him go. Not going to battle on the outside. Good move out of Chris Carroll. Smart move. Now does Heinzman have enough to catch our race leader, Dylan Banks? Right now, gap 0.67. Dylan had some time there where he could have saved some tire. We're going to find out if he did or not, because Cody Heinzman marching. Gap down to about 0.6 of a second. So about 1/10 of a second rolled off that lap. Dustin Ping in the 81 sits in the 7th spot. Behind him, Hunter Lagunas. Mark Arthur underneath everybody. The 12 looking to try and make a pass on the inside. Hunter Lagunas goes to the outside. Ping sits in that 7th spot, and he's got a couple of contenders right behind him. Arthur going to make the pass on Lagunas. Behind Lagunas, it's the 24, Sam Lawson. And the 28, Brian Zimmerman. Sam Lawson on the outside, trying to find a way around the 27 of Lagunas. Go back up to the race lead. Cody Heinzman has caught our race leader. Gap right now, 0.2 of a second. And closing. So long run speed, give it to the 51. I think he's there. Also want to throw out a big shout out, say thank you. Thank you for tuning in here on a Sunday night to True Sim Productions. You're watching Blazing Pedals here at Kentucky Speedway. Cookie cutter action live right here on YouTube. One more time around, 100 laps complete. 62 laps to go. Easiest math I've had all night. A lot of these drivers came down last time, a lap 46 or so. So if fuel holds true, it's about 20 more laps before we're going to see pit stops for fuel and certainly tires.
As I am back, Chris. Sorry for that.
No problem.
Had to step away just for a moment. But we are back as I'm trying to get caught up in all the happenings right now. Dylan Banks to the man front and center, it looks like. Cody Heinzman, Chris Carroll, Jamie Walker, and Rick Thompson's your top 5. So no really big change from when I left. That's a good thing. Didn't miss a lot.
Yeah, top 5 position-wise, you haven't missed anything. But I will tell you, Heinzman, I think, is quicker than Dylan Banks right now.
My camera just switched to him. It looks like Heinzman's applying a little bit of pressure now, or trying to.
Yeah, I think I don't know that he's going for the race lead. I think he's trying to push the 48 to push his own car. Wear stuff out. Again, I think we're about 20 or so laps away from pit stops for fuel. And the 51 taking it to the inside. So much for waiting. Cody Heinzman, Dylan Banks, they battle again. Oh, momentum on the outside carrying Banks, but the 51 has a little bit of a side wiggle.
These two just put on a show each and every time they're around each other.
Man,
both of them cutting the track surface there. Did you see that? We have not seen that apron be used a ton here tonight on the front stretch, but they both did it right then, trying to go the shortest distance around the track right there to start finish line.
So Heinzman put some pressure on. I think may back off just a little bit, let everything settle back in, and then go again. Man, these
I see
two.
Chris Carroll in third back there, but my question, I got to ask it again. Can he keep up with these two? They have opened up a big gap between him and third place now.
Yeah, I think right now, Carroll, maybe just running laps. Jamie Walker sits in the 4th spot. Rick Thompson in 5th. Brian D 6th. Then a big gap back to Mark Arthur, who's currently running in the 7th spot. Hunter Lagunas.
As Chris Carroll taking it down track side, or pit side, excuse me. So he's going to be the first one, I do believe, to hit pit road for service.
That's short pits. Watch for tires. If he's short pitting, that may force the issue.
That's going to force the hand, I do believe. I'm going to keep the tabs on him. I'll let you know. But I'm expecting a four-tire call of the 99 here for the short pit.
They are within the pit window. They can go the rest of the way.
It looks like a 4-tire call for the 99.
That is going to force the issue. Jamie Walker coming down pit road. Jamie Walker with a little monkey see, monkey do.
I'm telling you, Lagu, I don't know if they're planning on just running this out to the end. There may be another stop planned out in here somewhere. I would not be shocked at a two stop final stage.
The only way you're going to see that is with a caution, I believe.
I think 60 laps. I believe these guys are going to be screaming for tires after 60 laps.
They're almost there.
That is true. Yeah.
Actually, they are there. Race leader Dylan Banks has run 62 laps on this set of tires. Cody Heinzman, one more to the good. He was on pit road at 47. Banks on 46. So Heinzman could go one extra lap, but I expect these two to be coming down pit road any moment now.
It's caution on the Speedway.
Oh, baby.
May have been Larry Bell. Could have been Sam Lawson, too. I'm not sure. SDK is just kind of blinking both of them.
Well, let's go back and see what happened. That is going to be trouble for Chris Carroll. Oh, yeah, Bell just came up into Fred Thompson.
Oh, like he had no idea Fred was even there or something.
Yeah, that's
was
exactly
weird.
what it looked like. Watch this one more time. I mean, he had to know he was there, but the car pushed up. Unfortunately, Fred was right there, but Bell was going to clip the wall. He was going to smash that wall.
Yeah, it's like he fell asleep or something right then. That was weird.
Yeah. Well,
you know, Chris, with pit stops coming under green, I know it don't matter now, but maybe he was messing with his black box, trying to get his stuff set up to go get ready to pit.
Yeah,
it's all for naught now.
Could very well be right.
Now I gotta ask, what's the situation with Carroll here? He's going to get the wave around, I believe. Is that going to put him back on the lead lap?
Yeah, it should put him
tail end, I believe. I'm not sure.
I don't think he's going to get the wave.
It's hard to tell on my SDK. It's so weird if he's actually scored currently a lap down or not. I think he's on the lap with them. I think he's on their lap.
He's on the lead lap. Yep, he is. But boy, he's going to miss a bunch of time because of that short stop. Chris Carroll right now being scored in the 14th position. Now that might change a little bit more, but man, oh man.
You know, we got a battle heating up between our lovebirds, or as you coined them, right? The lovebirds of Heinzman and Banks here. I'm curious. It's showing me they're scored first and second still, but I know that's always subject to change here under caution. What are you seeing here, Chris?
No, I'm seeing the same thing, and I believe it to be true.
Okay.
Anybody who's in front of them right now is going to take the wave around to rejoin the lead lap.
Dang, that means Jamie Walker. I see him up there.
Yeah.
Sam Lawson, yeah, and then Gordon Larson. All three of them are going to be tail end of the longest line, I do believe, meaning Jamie's got a mountain ahead of him if he wants to continue his trend of really, really, really good finishes for the 88.
Well, those three drivers had all come down before the race leader. They all did the short stop. It did not work out as well for them as it did for Chris Carroll. But Carroll right now back on pit road. He filled up the fuel tank.
Just got word from Larry Bell. He knew Fred was out there, didn't know Fred was that low on the track with him. He thought he had room to come up. Apologize for getting into Fred. They're just letting us know what happened as well. I mean, it happens, right? Just a little bit of a misjudgment, right? It's all it takes.
Yep.
All it takes. And I mean, that's in real world too. When you're driving on the interstate, one little mistake and it could be a disaster, right? I mean, imagine that going 160 and you're trying to pass the guy that's in front of you as well, or 180, ever how fast they're going here. So I get it. Tough break for the 4 of Larry Bell, as he's been having actually a sneakily pretty good season. He's had his best BPO season to date, as I was checking the stats one night.
It's probably the car number.
I mean, that has to add at least, I mean, bare minimum, at least 20 horsepower, right? 20, 25 horsepower, just the car number.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so the cars in front of the race leader are going to pass the base car, rejoin the tail end of the field. Dylan Banks going to be the race leader. Cody Heinzman, Rick Thompson, Austin Edstrom, Hunter Lagunas, Brian Dees. That's your top 6. 7th on, Corey Sherman, Chris Berg, Mark Arthur, and Dustin Ping. That does round out the top 10. Then it's going to be Dalton Kilroe, Philip Van Vliet, John Perkins, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, who's been extremely quiet here tonight, It's the Iron Man, John Perkins, in 14th. 15th, going to go to Fred Thompson, who's just involved in that caution. Mike Massengill, 16th. Chris Carroll, 17th. Jamie Walker, 18th. Sam Loss, 19th. Gordon Larson going to be restarting in the 20th position. Everybody else at least a lap down or more.
This is a huge night for RT76. Not only has he been inside the top 5 for a huge portion of the night's race, like he looks like he's one of the fastest inside the top 5. So see what he can do here, starting P3 right behind our race leader, Dylan Banks. As pace cars off, there's still a lot of laps left, though. A lot can happen between now and the race end.
50 laps to go as they get set to retake the green flag. It'll be 49 when they cross the line. And the 48 is going to do it faster than anybody. Cody Heinzman with a good restart, though. Going to hold on to the second spot. Battle right now is going to be for third between Rick Thompson and Austin Edstrom. Thompson on the inside is going to have control coming out of turns 1 and 2. He cuts the nose off. RT76 looking for a podium. And I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna. Corey Sherman right now sits in the 9th spot, kind of stuck on the inside. I think he'd prefer to be on the outside. Look out, Corey. He restarted in 7th spot, right now sits in the 9th place, and he's got Mark Arthur right behind him. Mark Arthur blowing fire as he tries to advance one more spot. Not going to do it on the inside this time by, though. 3's going to hold on to it. Check in up top. The 48 still holding on. The 51 of Cody Heinzman in second. Top 3 cars very close, nose to tail. Rick Thompson, that 3rd car. I think what I have seen is on the long run, the 51 is a little bit quicker than the 48 tonight.
I'll be honest. I think that's kind of been the trend between them all season. I think Cody has been fast on the long run. The races Dylan's won, it just seems like Cody could never actually make the pass on him, right? We remember Iowa. I think the 51 was quicker, just could not make the pass on the 48. And you might be seeing the same tail get spin up and do the same thing here tonight for Deja Vu.
Rick Thompson came back to the league with one mission: to blow up the points. Rick Thompson right now sits in the 3rd spot. Philip Van Vliet working over the 10 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. That is for position number 11. The Butcher on the inside is going to take control, though. Philip Van Vliet right behind Taylor Butcher Benjamin. And again, the Butcher, he's been very, very quiet tonight, but look where he sits. Just outside the top 10.
I'm still watching our top 3. They're still nose to tail. RT76, he's not flinching. He's staying right here with them.
Top 3 are starting to separate a little bit from 4th spot, Austin Edstrom. 5th spot belongs to Brian Dees. So Dees really is having a fantastic night here tonight. I think I've called his name more tonight than I have any other race this season.
There's 2nd place Cody Heinzman. A little bit of a tank slap. He's pushing. He is pushing. But I do agree on Dees. Dees having a great night here tonight for the 17. So is the 87 of Edstrom right there. Edstrom was a heavy hitter out the gate when the season first started. The last few weeks, he has not been the same 87. This could be the start of that momentum building back up for Edstrom in that 87 moon car, moon and sun car.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I said it earlier. If you're looking for some excitement, you look for Dustin Ping. or I'm going to add Austin Edstrom. Those two cars have been very exciting to watch here tonight. Battle right now for second spot. RT76 looking to try and take it away from Heinzman.
He got to the inside of the 51, Chris. Now here's the big task, though. 51's gonna let him have it. 51 let him have it right there.
He sure did. Did not try and wool him up one bit.
I think you're seeing Cody Heinzman. He's very smart. He's so intelligent off the sim. I think you're seeing that 51 play chess right there. He's playing chess. He's thinking big picture.
Dylan Banks, Rick Thompson, Cody Heinzman, Austin Edstrom, Brian Dees, your top 5. Top 3 cars are the fast cars on the track right now. Starting to pull away.
The bobble out of the 76. Sorry to interrupt you there. But there was a... It showed me he's pushing. He's digging.
Oh, man. A race win for RT.
That'd be huge. That would be huge.
Oh, big bobble right there from RT76. Coming off the corner. That's going to anger those tires. You got to be careful with that.
That's kind of the tail of this car. The first bobble, it was little. It was minuscule, right? The second one was a little bigger. Now that third one, that could be the bad one. So now he has to back it down. He has to pull them tires off. He cannot keep leaning on them like that. Well, I don't know. I mean, our viewers at home may not know RT76. I don't never know him to go anything other than 100%.
If there was a more percentage you could do, he would.
He's there.
Tell you who else is there, Austin Edstrom. Edstrom is picking up speed. Young bloods mixed with veterans in the top 5. Just behind the top 5, running for 6th spot right now, it's Lagunas and Ping. Hunter Lagunas on the top side of the track. It's going to take away a spot.
I was honest to God just keying up to say that. They have kind of flip-flopped the last few laps I saw on my peripherals. Now the 81 gets the spot there. Now will Hunter be able to fight back the Junker? It's a good night for the Junker. I know we've said that for a few drivers, but the Junker, he has that nickname for good reason. He has not been able to finish a lot of races. He's had good pace and good speed, but he can't finish them. So tonight's a good night, running 6, but he's about to fall in the clinches of that 12 car.
Yeah, 12 car finding some late race speed in this event. Here on lap 127, he's looking pretty strong right now.
Riding comfortably in the top 10 right now, running 7th or 8th, I do believe. It's a good night as Chad Wilson goes low, lets the lead lap cars go on around. It's a tough break for Chad, man. I wanted to see a great night out of him, and I think he had it in him. Just luck did not prevail. That shifter malfunction ended his hopes for a great night, a great debut.
Yep. Now just running laps. Good on him for at least running laps.
That's what I was going to say. He's hurt. Obviously, the car is uncompetitive, almost basically in the way, probably, right? I feel like that when I'm that slow, but he's still digging, still turning laps, and supporting the series. So shout out to the 21 there. That's the one you want.
Absolutely. Top 3 cars within 0.3 of a second of each other.
Want to see if Rick can do what others have not been able to this season, other than Jamie Walker, really. Can he match pace? Can he go pace for pace with the 48 and the 51 as the tires start to wear? It just seems like they find a different gear, or they can maintain their pace when the tires have to wear better than anybody else in the series right now. Can Rick Thompson be one of? Can he join that fold, join that mix with them?
I've got bad news for you. I think Thompson may have rubbed all the good off of those good years.
That's what I'm going. He's holding the 51 up right now. The 51 wants to go. He sees the 48, and right there, look to the inside. You knew exactly where I was going.
There it is.
And now it's going to allow the 87 as well.
Heinzman takes advantage of a tight condition in the 76. You've alluded to it a couple of times. He's an intelligent driver, and he was just waiting. Now, does he have anything for Dylan Banks? The Lovebirds up front once again.
Going on a date in the Bluegrass State. This is my quote-unquote home track, although I don't own it. I don't necessarily like this track, if I'm being honest, to race at it. I always say Nashville Fairgrounds is my true home track because it's closer. But this is a good track, too. I've watched the race here in real life. It was a pretty good race between Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch. It looks like we're going to have a good race between Heinzman and Banks here.
Yeah, before that happens, though, the 87, Austin Edstrom, looking to the inside of Rick Thompson. So the tire woes, I believe, are catching up with Rick Thompson right now. That Ford becomes a little ill handling. You can see it right there. Edstrom just able to rotate so much better than the 76 through the corner, but Rick is able to hold the speed because of the outside momentum that he's able to keep. Right behind him, though, it's the Soul Stealer looking to reap another.
It seems like there's some tracks, Chris, where you can watch and you can't really tell a guy's struggling. Even though he might be losing spots or losing a little pace, it's hard to tell they're struggling. Well, the eye test here, I mean, you can tell instantly. As soon as the driver's getting tight, they start falling off. Just instantly. It's like a light switch almost.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, from third back to seventh, I think the fastest car is maybe the 12.
I know a few ladies that love to hear that. Last time around the circuit was a 32.596 for Mark Arthur. Now, bear in mind, he does have the 81 of DP, Dustin Ping, right there in front of him. So naturally going to be a little bit slower there, just trying to whoa up and not. But I believe he might be just what you said he is, the fastest in the pack.
The trick now is for him to not try and over-rotate the car. Just let it set in the corner and run where it wants to run. Don't tick off those tires. If you tick them off, you're going to lose all the gains. But Mark right now,
don't do that.
Contact
Don't
into the 81. Don't do that. Contact with Ping.
Mark was actually apologizing before they actually touched there. He knew he was getting tight. He was on the comms really fast right now.
Yeah, he should clear the 81 this time. He doesn't, though.
81 also got into the outside wall a little bit right there. Didn't lose a whole lot of momentum doing it.
Mark hit that black spot in the pavement, got a little bit of a speed boost, and he was able to take over that spot. Up to the 6th spot now is Mark Arthur. Now use that track, let those tires cool, and get ready to battle Rick Thompson. Speaking of battle, top two drivers starting to walk away. Banks, Heinzman, and this has been, I could just put this on repeat for the season.
As I'm trying to pull up the stats to make sure I'm 100% right. So Banks has won 3 races since he's been here. He's done 7. Heinzman has won 4 races since he's been here. He's done 11. These guys know how to put it in victory lane. Now they got to fight each other to try to put it in victory lane. Can Banks pick up race number 4, race win number 4 of the season? Or will the catch-up man pick up his 5th and be the winningest driver so far this season?
Yeah, 22 laps to go when they cross the start-finish line next time, so it's starting to get down there. And this is about when we start seeing Heinzman get a little quicker than Dylan Banks in the previous runs. When we start getting in a little bit deeper. Has Heinzman saved enough tire to be able to do it again here tonight?
I think the battle right now is between tire wear and clean air. Can the 51 mitigate some tire wear and overcome the clean air?
Well, he's definitely doing everything he can to save tires. You see the arc that he had last time in. It was just a little bit higher than Dylan Banks, and that's going to serve to help try and keep those tires a little bit cooler than what Dylan's able to do by holding on to the bottom of the track like that.
Dylan is really pinching off the exit of his corners, whereas the 51 almost looks lazy on exit because he's letting the car just freely float all the way up to the exit. Not fighting it, right? Not putting no crosshair in it, not fighting it. Just like you mentioned earlier, let the car go where it wants to go.
As long as it's not into the wall, it should be all set. Heinz been doing a good job here so far. I'm going to check in on the Soul Stealer, Brian Dees. Dees has got Austin Edgstrom right in front of him, but right behind him, we got a battle for the 5th spot. Mark Arthur trying to work the inside of RT76. That's for 5th. Mustang versus Mustang. You almost got to believe that Mark just finishing on the lead lap is almost a victory in itself. Now, if you can throw a top 5 in there, good night here for the 12 car.
I think it's what we're seeing visually here, too. I think he knows that, and he wants that top 5. He's searching. He tried to look high and then look low. Sorry, go ahead.
No, checking in on the race leaders, just speed-wise. Last time by, Cody Heinzman, 32.85. Dylan Banks, 32.91. So that battle, look for that thing to start raging here in a few.
I might eat these words, and I probably shouldn't paint this picture as a broadcaster, but I think the clean air is going to be too much to overcome. We know the 51 is not going to rough up the 48, not going to get up there and bump him or nothing like that, right? Not going to jeopardize wrecking his car or the 48's car, right? I say all that, now the 51's closing the gap right back. It's like the gap opens up and then he closes it right back in. So maybe he is just laying in the weeds, just waiting to strike.
Yeah, 18 laps to go.
Dylan is pinching off the corner off turn 4 so heavy. He is not letting the car float up at all. I'm curious as to why he's doing that.
Oh, so that could mean that he's driving off from that right rear tire as opposed to the right front tire.
Just getting the car to rotate that much where it can turn down and hold that lane. That's actually probably spot on what he's doing. You ask any of the fast guys in this car how to drive it, they say you have to find a way to use the right rear because the car's lazy. You don't want to use it naturally, right? You have to force it to use it.
Problem for the governor as he jumps to pit road on lap 142.
And put it on the hauler as well.
He is done.
So could not go back-to-back after his big Majors World 100 win this afternoon. Puts it on the hauler. Looks like he's going to leave Kentucky with at least a 21st finish. It could get a little worse, though, depending on how these next 16 or so laps do go.
Yeah, it's gonna drop by at least one. Chad Wilson still on track, so Wilson's gonna pick up that spot in about 4 laps. Keeping an eye on our race leaders, though.
I was about to give an update on their times. Last time around the circuit, 32.91 versus a 32.93. So the 9-1, that was Banks, the race leader, and the 9.3 was Heinzman. So Heinzman a little bit slower, but I promise you that does not tell the full story. He is having to manipulate his car based off where Banks is entering the corner, so he's not just freely able to guess or freely able to just drive off in there whichever lane he wants.
Yeah, and he is letting that car back. Oh, off the wall that time.
I just wanted to reiterate that time around, Chris. Banks with a .90, Heinzman with a .91. That's how close those are in speed.
Yeah. We'll go to third place. That's 33.08 last time by. So, our race leaders more than a tenth quicker, about 0.3 actually quicker than third place Austin Edstrom. I think Cody's going to have to change his line just a little bit. He's letting it float way high in the corners. I don't think he's getting the same drive off as Dylan is with that right rear. And it's starting to show.
Dylan's able it looks like he's able to wrap the bottom better and hold it down there. He's not having to worry about it floating up, whereas Heinzman, he's really using the entire racetrack. And normally that's a good thing, right? But I think you hit the nail on the head. I think the 48 has found how to get that car set over on the right rear. And it's just rotating. The car is turning perfectly for him.
Yeah, last several laps, he has been quicker. So, I mean, not much. You're talking 0.02 of a second last lap quicker. Barely anything. But barely anything is something. When you've got 11 laps to go.
Just think the clean air. The clean air is just huge right now for the 48.
Corey Sherman right now trying to get himself a top 10 finish. And I'll tell you, that's another victory out on track as he just passed the 81 of Dustin Ping. That puts Corey back into the top 10. And after the night he's having, that's pretty darn good. He may not be done now because he goes to the inside of Lagunas. Corey Sherman looks to pick up an 8th.
Corey has had 3 top 10 finishes this season altogether. His last top 10, March 23rd this season. It was at, May 4th at Michigan.
Contact between Sherman and Lagunas.
Oh, no.
Able to keep it going. Sherman's going to clear.
What I just read you shows Sherman, he's hungry, wants the top 10. It's been months in the making.
2 spots back, it is Philip Van Vliet. And marred back there, Chris Carroll. Carroll, since he has been to the back of the track, or the back of the field rather, has had nothing but misery trying to make his way back up. With 9 laps to go, Chris Carroll outside of the top 10. Checking
Not
in.
the night he was hoping for. I don't know why he pit off sequence. He pit with everybody, then went back down pit road again. I know he's had tire issues prior where iRacing will not give him tires. I'm not sure what happened this time. He said that happened to him 2 weeks ago. That's why he pit off sequence. So hopefully that was not the issue for the 99, but I just don't know why he would have pit the second time.
Well, he was already in the back of the field there, so it didn't hurt to come down for fuel, but yeah, he's just having a miserable experience over the last few weeks, it seems. Missing some additional seat time last weekend, of course. He was not at the All-Star race.
I think it's safe to call it a slump now. I said in my write-up, is it a slump or what? I think it's a slump. I thought tonight he would shake it off and get back to championship form, Chris Carroll, that we're used to. He's not around as much now. He's not able to be on the sim. He told me earlier today he's only here on Sundays. It's the only time he gets to race. So you may see I mean, back when he was winning all the time, he was racing a lot, right? It could just be a matter of what you just said right then, seat time.
Makes a huge difference. I know it had
Dylan,
been 5 years or so before I sat in the seat again, and it took me a long time before I was just comfortable running around the track, let alone racing somebody else.
I'm to the point now where if I race any league, I run 15th, I get mad at myself, so I don't race again, right? So it just compounds the issue. I'm not giving myself seat time. When I do give myself seat time, I'm mad because I'm running terrible. That's my current dilemma right now. I want to get back in here and race and do all that, but man, oh man, it's just hard. It's hard to put the time together.
Sure is.
I'll tell you who had some seat time though. Dylan Banks. He's opening up the lead over second place. Cody Heinzman here.
Now, all of a sudden, we got a gap of just about a half a second here between our race leader and second place Cody Heinzman. In fact, now bigger than a half a second. Heinzman starting to lose ground to our race leader, Dylan Banks. Banks has got it figured out. He was turning that car with the right rear, and he still is. And it has been enough.
It's going to be cool on After the Flag, folks. Don't forget, 5 minutes after we conclude tonight's show, we're going to be going live here on True Sim Productions. It's already posted the link. Go check it out. After the Flag, we're going to be talking to some drivers. We know Dylan Banks will be there, right? He's there every week with us, thank goodness. Cody Heinzman, the same. Dalton Kilrow, he's been there with us, I think, every week as well. Chris, I missed the first week, so you can tell me, but I think Dalton was there. So we'll get to hear from these drivers tonight and get to hear an interesting perspective, POV, from the drivers.
3 laps to go for Dylan Banks. And the gap continues to grow.
So, Chris, I mentioned After the Flag again, right? So you know that means I got to mention this. I got to put a shirt on. We got to have a camera on. I forgot about that. It's hot in the South, brother. It is hot.
Yeah, it's been cooking up here pretty good, too. All that changes tomorrow, though. We drop into the 70s for the entire week.
We got a window unit in the top bedroom going bad, so it's putting out cold air, but not much. As popsicle sticks in the air this time, or last time by, excuse me. White flag will be in the air this time by. It's all Dylan Banks. Cody Heinzman is behind him, but nowhere in my picture right now. Dylan Banks opened it up here.
Yeah, 3/4 of a second, the gap between first and second, as Dylan Banks going to take the white flag one more time around the circuit for Dylan Banks to win again. What'd you say? 3 times so far? It's going to be 4? Here we go.
You know, I'm all about stats, right? We've had 2 drivers win 4 races this season. It's been Cody Heinzman. It's been Chris Carroll. Now we have a driver joining that mix, Dylan Banks, en route to his 4th win of the season, Chris.
Yes, sir, and Heinzman's car has gone to poo as it's over a second away. Dylan Banks going to walk away with this one. Dylan Banks, our race winner.
Shout out Dylan Banks. I know he wants that. Remember, I highlight it weekly in the post on Facebook. He is itching to make the top 16. It sounds impossible, but on the rate he's currently on, he can make it. It's mathematically possible.
A little congratulatory bump right there from Cody Heinzman saying good race.
The Lovebirds.
Lovebirds finished 1 and 2 again. Austin Edstrom bringing it home in 3rd spot. Brian Dees just outside of the top 3. A good solid run for the Soul Stealer here tonight. 4th spot. Rick Thompson picks up a 5th. Mark Arthur 6th. Corey Sherman 7th place after being involved in multiple accidents here tonight. Chris Berg 8th. Dalton Kilrow 9th. And how about the lone Dutchman finishing in 10th? Philip Van Vliet. TNA had a pretty good night. 3 drivers in the top 10.
I want to highlight, you mentioned it there, but I want to mention it again. Was involved in 2 different incidents. Both of them looked massive. 7th place finish, though, for Corey Sherman. Hell of a night there for the 3.
All right, so we're going to set up some post-race interviews.
which we could say just tune in after the flag. We'll do the interviews there. Still working on that. I forgot to mention it in the admin chat.
That would be cool.
Just entice people to watch after the flag too, right? I'm always trying to plug, always trying to promote, and that's just sounds like smart business to me.
Yeah, buddy. Finishing third tonight, it's going to be the driver of the number 87, Austin Edstrom. Austin, this is Chris and Tanner up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man. How's it going?
Doing well, bud. Hey, you put one together again here tonight. It's been a little while since we've talked to you. What was the big secret for the 87 finishing third tonight?
Just don't let the right front tire get blown off the race car. I mean, it was just so tight tonight. I mean, probably the worst fix setup I've ever driven on this service. It was awful. So I'm honestly just ecstatic to be in the booth because I hated driving all 162 laps of it tonight.
Well, the car was up and down all night, but yeah, towards the end of it, you picked up that third spot, and it was pretty much lights out. I mean, you had a pretty decent gap between you and the leaders, but also between you and Brian Dees in fourth. So, hey, a good run out of the 87. Here you are talking. That means you're on the podium. It's a good day for the 87. Who do you got to thank?
Yeah, good day for sure. So definitely got to thank all the MFRD guys, Michael Falk, Dalton Kilroy, Ty Marasco, Brian Dees, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Derek Paulson, all those guys. Got a long laundry list of them, but come out here and try to do a good job week in, week out. I don't feel like we've been getting the job done here recently, so good to at least get it back in the podium, and hopefully whenever we go racing again, we can get back in victory lane.
All right, Austin. Well, we look forward to watching you build up some head of steam here towards the end of this season. It's been a good one for you, bud. We'll talk to you again real soon, I'm sure.
Appreciate it, guys.
Austin Edstrom, driver of the number 87, bringing it home in third spot. And Tanner, that means you get to talk to, the catch-up man.
The catch-up man, Mr. Cody Heinzman, you're live in the booth with Chris and Tanner. You got a copy?
I do.
Brother, you brought it home P2, right behind your, the fellow Lovebird. What'd you need there at the end to capitalize and get the top spot away from Dylan Banks?
Well, a couple things. Clean air and to have a tire advantage like I felt like I managed to do on that second to last run in stage 3 before that final caution. I was giving him fits, and I knew I had a tire advantage, and I thought maybe if I saved the same way on that last run, I let Rick by for a bit, that I could have something towards the end. But he saved his tires better on that last run, and man, I cannot remember the last time I felt the dirty air more than we felt it here tonight. I was talking with Dylan about it just now too, and he was saying the same thing. So that was brutal. I was doing everything I could. We got to 20 to go. I knew there was no difference in our tires at all, so I just had to throw the kitchen sink at it. I just started going crazy lines. I was putting so much wheel into it, and by the end I was just hitting the wall every lap. I was so tight, but I gave it everything I had.
Well, we just heard from Austin Edstrom. He brought the car home third. He said it was probably the worst fixed setup he's ran in a while. He said the car was really tight. Is that what you were experiencing behind Banks with the dirty air?
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there for sure. I took some massive swings. I probably took bigger swings at the little things you can change with the setups here, more than I have at any other race so far this season. So even then it was brutal. I mean, after that final run, my right front was 12% lower than my right rear, and I felt like I was driving it in the right rear as much as I could. It was just brutal out there.
That looked to be like the outlier between y'all. It looked like Dylan was able to get the car rotated and get it set over on the right rear. I know you're going to join us on After the Flag. You always do. I hope you are, at least. I've already said you were going to be there probably. But For now, who we got to thank for the 51? Another podium finish for the catch-up man.
Well, shout out to you guys for broadcasting the races. It's always fun to go back and watch them. Shout out to my wife who's always watching, and unfortunately, she's a little bedridden. Just got COVID or tested positive today, so hoping she rests up quick. Shout out to the grandparents as always, and everyone who makes the league go around. It's a lot of fun here, and shout out to Dylan for another win. Let's hope next time I can get him.
Right on. Well, that's the catch-up man, and I think you said it was your wife, so good luck, and hopefully COVID isn't too bad for her, and we'll be talking to you here in just a little bit, Cody.
Sounds good.
Cody Heinzman, driver of the number 51, bringing it home, a podium finish, second place here again tonight. And that is going to leave us with just one other person to talk to. It is our race winner, the driver of the number 48, getting it done again. Number 4 on the season, Dylan Banks. It's Chris and Tanner up in the booth. You got a copy?
I sure do.
All right, buddy. How big is that smile on your face?
Woo, it's huge. Big. Needed that.
So it looked like in the last portion of the final run, the big difference between you and Cody was that you were able to drive off from the right rear way better.
Mm-hmm.
Is something that you found, or?
No. I just knew being out in the clean air, you can save better. Being behind somebody in that dirty air, it's bad here. It's very, very bad. It's a plow box behind somebody, but yeah, just having that clean air. I knew he was saving too. I was just trying to save as well, but still hold the track position. So if like he got a huge run, I would start pushing again. It was kind of like tit for tat, like him pushing one lap, me pushing one lap, and then us saving for a couple laps. But yeah, I knew that like the last 20 to go, as long as I kept doing what I was doing, he was not going to have a chance. Because it's first of all, it's hard to pass here. And second of all, you got to use a lot of rubber to even get up to somebody. And I seen his line. I knew he was going to be a little bit tighter than me. I was trying to kind of have a wider arc, but have a shallow exit. So I was easy on the throttle mid corner and allow myself to have a shallow entry and save that right front. And he was doing the opposite. He was still saving that right front. Don't get me wrong. He was with me the whole race, but he was kind of washing up to the wall, and that burns a little bit more right front up than having a shallow exit if you do it right.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we were seeing on the broadcast. So pretty cool to get that reinforced. Who do we got on the 48 that we need to thank?
Oh man, got to thank my guys at Five Kings. Corey gave me a little bit of fuel this morning talking about the guys at TNA. So I told him, you know what's up, man? Five Kings, we're coming for y'all. We're coming. And we put on the show tonight. I think we had one. Should have had more in it. Well, we didn't have many in the top 10, but we had a lot of Five King guys up in the top 10 tonight. They did a great job. Carroll really I feel bad for him. He got screwed by that not penalty, but that yellow flag coming out. I knew it was coming. That's why I stayed out as long as I could. I knew it was coming at some point. But yeah, it gave me a little bit of fuel, and it gave all the guys at Five Kings a little bit of fuel. We're ready. We're ready for any task given to us, and we're going to show it, not just this week, but next week, the week after, all the way into the end of this thing. I can promise you. But big shout out to you and Tanner up in the booth. Y'all doing an awesome job up in the booth every night. Can't thank y'all enough. And Tanner bringing me in this league, can't thank him enough. Owe him a lot of credit. And also, I want to give a shout out to Cody and Austin for podium finishes. That it's always a blast racing around Cody. I mean, every week we're gonna find a way to race with each other, be right around each other the whole time. I think that's why Tanner loves it.
He isn't the only one.
No, but I hope we put on the show for not only y'all but the viewers out there. Yeah, I can't thank the viewers enough for all the support. Wouldn't be nothing without y'all, and for Mark putting on this league, and for Carol for being an awesome teammate and helping me no matter what through thick and thin. All love to him. I can't thank him enough. But yeah, happy to be in victory lane.
All right, buddy. Well, with that, I am going to go ahead and say good night from us here on TNA. Not TNA.
I just want to say something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Banks just put a target on Five Kings' back too. He straight up said they're coming. Join us on After the Flag. It's going to be interesting, folks.
It's going to get interesting. Yeah. From truesimproductions. It's been
and TNA Motorsports. We'll say it too.
Sure. What the heck? It's been a pleasure bringing you all the action here tonight. Join us in about 5 minutes for After the Flag.
I'll see you there.